Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning and welcome back to fishing. So it's Memorial Day right now and we're about to get on some fishing action. We're going to be targeting Fluke, taking the kayak out, and to be honest, we've been lucky that we're even getting out this weekend. It's just been a total washout this weekend. If you live in the Northeast, this won't be a surprise to you. But it looks like we're gonna have an opening today. The weather doesn't look too bad. My biggest concern is we're gonna have a bit of wind today. Hopefully not too much, and hopefully in a direction that won't be too detrimental. We're gonna have a very good tide. We're gonna get there and it's gonna be all incoming this morning with a peak at around lunchtime. So hopefully we can make the most of that. Hopefully the wind does stay somewhat at bay, making it productive for fishing. So do stay tuned because you know what we're about to do. Get some fishing accomplished. Dead low tide. Well, at least we got all incoming this morning, which is the polar opposite of last time. All right, we're about to shin deep, so I think we can get in now after about 30 or 40 yards of walking. Let's get in and get on some fish. Okay, we're approaching our first spot right now. We do have a little bit of a breeze, but I've done far worse. At this point, I'm more concerned about what boat traffic might look like once the day gets started. But yeah, we're gonna hit our first rift pretty soon. We're gonna try and downsize weight, at least to start while the tide is dead low right now. So we're gonna fish this 4-inch Gulp swimming mullet on a 1/2 ounce white jig head. One thing I'm noticing is the water is a bit murky right now, which is going to cut into visibility. That may or may not be a big issue, we'll find out, but if this isn't working, we will upsize to a 1-ounce bucktail that's mainly white, and hopefully that will get more visibility, more action. I'll also note we're fishing a single jig head right now. That'll help get it down a little quicker. And as I've noted in the last couple of videos where we were fluke fishing, the bigger fish tend to hit the bottom and the bottom larger jig. So let's see how this goes. Without the teaser, we can fish a lighter setup. I'm also going to maybe try one of these Gulp sand eels. That thing should get down there a little bit quicker and hold bottom a little easier because there's less resistance. We'll find out, but if that doesn't work, either of those, we will try the bucktail single first, and if that's slow to go, we will throw the teaser on. Let's see what happens. Here goes, first drift, and we are marking some life on the bottom. See if 1/2 ounce can hold in this very slack tide. We have wind with tide today, which is good. All right, yeah, we're getting down there. It's not super deep, so let's see what this life is. One thing I'll also note as we start is I'm fishing a new GoPro today. So if the filming turns out a bit wonky, that potentially is why, though not the only option, but it's basically the same. This is an 8 black, I had a 7 black. The reason I switched GoPros, I had a crack in my 7, so I sent that back and bought this one in the meantime. So hopefully I'm not screwing up the footage. What's that? Ooh, yeah, that's something heavy. Could be a fluke, but I doubt it. Probably a skate. Probably a skate. That can't be a fluke. That's bad news. Yep, very bad news. Getting everything but what we're looking for right now. Got a good hook set though. Oh no, I'm not going anywhere near your mouth. Like an alien. Look at that. Alien. Got him. Sea robin. Maybe not. I don't know what that is. Bluefish? Sea robin. Dang it. I'm sure there's a hole. Yeah, it looks like you were dug in the mud or something. You're all colored up. Oh my God. Eventually we're gonna get on some fluke. Okay, we just did like 4 or 5 drifts and each of them had like 3 to 5 sea robins, like literally. I've probably caught already like 25 sea robins today. I just dumped the footage. I don't need any more sea robin footage today, unless a fluke gets caught in the same drift. But I can't get through the sea robins in that first spot. I'm sure there's fluke there, but the sea robins are just voracious. So we're gonna hit up a different spot while the tide is still not moving that much. See if it's any better. I'll definitely go back to that spot once the tide starts moving a little more. Maybe the fluke are a bit more aggressive, but it's just sea robin central there for now. So let's check something else out. Okay, rolling up on spot number 2. Definitely a bit more tidal movement over here. Water looks a little cleaner too, so that might be helpful. I've only fished here once and it was during a non-favorable tide, but I think this could be good. We're gonna get down there and hopefully get on some action. We got a lot of life in the bottom here. I don't even know what that could be. I hope it's not sea robins, but whatever. If anything, we're just picking up what we left behind over there. I don't know how well we're gonna hold with ½ ounce here, but we'll try. If not, we'll up to 1 ounce. A lot of what looks like bait in the water here. Either that or false positives on the fish finder. A little bouncy here, but nothing we can't handle. Ooh, that's a fluke. All right, maybe this trip was worth it. Feels decent too. We're going against tide, but first fluke of the day that we hopefully will get in the boat. Not the first hooked fluke. Not sure what kind of size we're working with because of the tide. Could be good. It's coming up weird. Oh. I don't think he's... I'm gonna net that one. Come on. Come on. You see that net? Awful net job. And he just popped up, so we made the right choice. Yeah, I think that one might do it. I think so. Yeah, that's about 19.5. Sure, why not? We're having fish for dinner tomorrow. All right, first fluke of the day, it's a keeper. 19.5. Not a bad start. All right, first keeper in the boat. We just bled him out, letting him chill in the live well, or the drive well, I should say, and in the water. Tide is moving over there. We're gonna try to stick with this ½ ounce jig head, but if we're really not holding well, then we'll up to a 1 ounce. But I want to keep it as light as we can holding bottom. And if there's one 19-incher, 19+ incher there should be more. And it seems like the sea robins are not nearly as voracious here, so let's go back and do it again. That's a fluke. Man, this tide is really throwing off my preview of these fish and how big they are. I'll take that. Okay, we're gonna give this spot one more shot. It's a lot of work fishing here with the current tide and wind situation. It's taking a lot of time to reset each drift, so we'll give it one more long drift, and unless anything good happens, we're gonna move back to the area where we were before this. This fish couldn't even wait for the GoPro to be turned on. It's definitely a fluke. That much we know. I'm not sure the size though. Sorry I missed that hook set. Okay, we're calling it a little early on the spot. I don't know. Doesn't feel great. But Fluke have been fairly elusive today with all the sea robins about. You're not even close. You've got a couple years to go until you see the likes of my cooler. You got it, buddy. There you go. All right, let's start that drift up again. Yeah. That might be, not sure if that's a fluke yet. Might be. Might be a good one too. Oh no, 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 no. Network. Let's put that net to work. Not huge, but potentially big enough. He threw up some stuff. I think you're a little short, but better safe than sorry. Not terrible. It's probably like an 18-incher. I'm not even gonna bother measuring him. It's not big enough. Pretty though. All right, well, we got onto a good pattern. Let's hit that up again once we get untangled. Okay, we've left that last spot and we're basically back where we started this morning. Tide is moving a lot nicer, so I'm hoping there's a bit more life here other than sea robins. We'll find out soon enough. What was that? That was a weird bite. Got him that time. I don't know what that is. It's not a sea robin. Bluefish maybe? Nice. This will be something. I don't think it's a fluke either. Probably bluefish. Striped bass, all right. It's been a while. Cool little guy. Oh, it's good. That was fun. Fun in this light little tackle setup. All right. There we go. What do we have here? That might be another striper. It's definitely not a sea robin, that's for sure. No. Foul hooked fluke. Not sure why they keep doing this. Very mediocre action so far today. I mean, it's been hot and cold. You know, on point sea robin bite. Let's give credit where credit's due. But the fluke have been spotty. If I'm not mistaken, we got another at least hour and a half of incoming tide before we peak. So still a lot can happen. And perhaps during that peak when we go slack, we'll have a shot at another doormat. Or a doormat. I wouldn't consider what I got last week a doormat, but a nice fluke. But I'll give it till at least peak. I'm not sure how it's going to look out here once outgoing tide goes against this northwest wind. It might get pretty sloppy out here, so I'll give it at least that hour and a half, and after that we'll probably start to make moves. All right, slight switch up with the spot. Same general area, but we're moving to a different part of this channel. See if it's any more productive over here. Yeah, that's a fluke. Fluke on the first drift in this area. Could be decent. I'm not gonna net him, but it's again a step in the right direction. Little fat flatty. This guy's dug into the mud. You can see all the dirt on him. All right, first drift in this spot. Pick up a fluke. Where there's one, there's got to be more. At least that's the common logic. Yeah, right. That's what we're talking about. It's second fluke on this drift. Where have you guys been all my life? Yeah, not a keeper, but fun to catch. Okay, that was the best fluke numbers drift we had all day. Let's hit the exact same mini drift up again and see if we can upsize our game with the downsize presentation. All right, here goes. Got some nice moving tide right now. If we're gonna get on some action, now's the time to make it happen. This wind is really starting to ratchet up. And tide is nearing peak, so it won't be long now. Ooh, yeah. That could be a good fish. Yeah, that could be a real nice fish. That's a nice fluke. Best fluke in a while, at the very least. Love it. Love it. Good fish. He's probably hooked through the side of the head or something. Oh, yeah, I knew it. Still legal fish. Nice fish. Boom. That's nice. 22 incher probably. Whew. Fun fight. Yeah, that's a solid fish. See what I'm talking about, folks? Like, they're just so finicky. They're all laying on top of this lure. Bucktail, jig, it doesn't matter. And it took a while, but we finally got a second keeper. I haven't measured them yet, but probably 22 or so inches, 21, 22. Neighborhood of pushing probably 3.5, 4 pounds. I'm not gonna get super bent out of shape about the weight of this one, but solid fish. Quick measure just to prove that this is a keeper. Like, this is an easy keeper. It's not like the last one where it was like right on the line. This fish, just about 20.5, almost 21. And he spit up. Look at this, folks. Look at this. Maybe the bucktail wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, back you go. All right, we just got our second keeper fluke, and we had to get that all set up and stringed up and bled out, and all that fun stuff. And we got blown pretty far down from where we were fishing with the tide as well. And the wind is definitely jacking up, so I don't know how many more of these drifts I got left before it just gets to be more trouble than it's worth. But I'm gonna try. And hopefully we can get at least 1 or 2 more good fluke. See what happens. Whew. I apologize in advance if we're getting a lot of water on our camera lens. I'm trying my best to keep up with it, but these conditions are challenging. But whatever, it is what it is. That might have already been ahead. Yep. World class sea robin action. Nowhere in the world that I can think of will you find better sea robin fishing than in the northeast of the United States of America. All right, tide's about to go slack. I think it pretty much is slack at this point. It's peaking out. Wind is back and forth. Right now it doesn't seem so bad, but every so often we'll get some pretty nasty gusts, so we'll see how this goes. I've got a fair amount of fishing left in me if it's fishable and the fish are biting, but if the bite takes any kind of nosedive like it has the last couple weeks, I probably won't hang out here too long. actually just really got nice all of a sudden. Not holding my breath that this will last though. That's a fluke. I don't know what he's doing over there. No, it's a bluefish. We're getting everything today. Everything but the kitchen sink. I'm surprised it took this long in the season to get one of these. Little guy. And he snapped me off, great. Oh well, whatever. Alright, just had a bluefish snap us off in the last drift, so I had to retie my leader. It's not really much of a surprise. I guess the only surprise is that's the first one I've tied into this year so far. I've had a few follow-ups, but that's the first one I've hooked this year. And a few years ago when I was fishing here more often, this time of year, couldn't get away from the bluefish, so it was a little surprising. But anyways, yeah, let's try and get back on the fluke. All right, with the slack tide, I'm just gonna bounce around because surprisingly the wind is just perfect right now. I'm gonna go into some of these deep holes that are just off of ledges to see if there's anything big, just looking for an easy meal, because if there's a good time to make it happen, that's like specifically for big fish, now is the time, as I've been saying. And as we saw in the last video, though that was a low slack tide, this is a peak slack tide. Whoa, that could be something really nice. That's a fluke for sure. It's big. Really nice fluke. Really nice fluke. I just hope he's not hooked all weird. Yep. Oh boy, oh boy, boy, boy. No, no, no. No, not like that. This tide. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. He's not huge. Well, that sounded a lot worse than it was. But he's nice. He'll make number 3. Nice. Just to be honest. Yeah, you're 20 and a... No. 19... Almost 20. Almost 20. Another solid guy. We got a lot of meat, so we're going to let this guy go. I'm not keeping anything unless it's at least 22 at this point. Alright, we just got our 3rd keeper of the day, but we let that one go. I'm not keeping another fluke unless A, it's mortally hooked, or B, it's like a 21 plus incher. Like, it's gonna have to be as big or bigger than that 2nd keeper we kept. I've already got a good amount of fish in the freezer, and one of these fish is gonna go in the freezer anyways, and one of them we'll have for dinner tomorrow. So let's get it back down there. We're having a fun time. Baby. Mud baby. Look how muddy this guy is. Alright, that's going to do it for today's session. Overall pretty good. Got a ton of fish, just unfortunately most of which were sea robins or fluke that were too small. But we got 3 keepers and we kept 2 of them, so I can't complain. And if this were New Jersey, I think I probably would have had like 5 or 6 keepers. Quite a few 18 inchers. But overall pretty fun. I think downsizing definitely did help get on some more action. At least at first the fish were a little finicky, but I think they got a bit more aggressive as the day went on. The tide started moving, and honestly I could still catch fish right now. It's just I got to go home and clean these fish. Want to try and beat some of that Memorial Day traffic, so we'll try and make that work for us. But thank you for watching as always, so do stay tuned, more stuff to come soon, and of course, goodbye from fishing.